Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Friday Underground stream. Today, we're talking about World of Warcraft while I'm doing a drawing stream. So, yeah, we got some cool people on here. Tommy's going to be taking the reins at a certain point. But yeah, again, here is my co-host with the most. How
What
you
up?
doing, Pig?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Getting by. We're doing a little side questing, looking for things to actually show off tonight, and let everybody know about this franchise in case they haven't played it. And for everybody that's returning and has already played this before and just looking for got some update on newer stuff, you're not going to find it from me. I will be talking about the old stuff because that's all I know how to do. But what's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well.
Cool, cool. Hey, man, always happy to have you on. And yeah, I am looking forward to seeing some of the stuff too, because I've seen little bits here and there. I love the artwork, the art style, the Joe
Oh yeah.
Med kind of stuff that they did with this. Really, really cool.
Really underrated too. I think is
Oh
not only
yeah,
the artwork and everything that they did for World of Warcraft, but it's all the storytelling and all the lore creation that they did behind the scenes. And that doesn't stop with the creators that were doing the game. That's all the people that were working on the mangas, the comics, all the novels and everything like that. Which it didn't
nice.
just end at like say like Disney or some of these other companies, they have people making novellas off of the freaking franchises, and they just sit there and they're their own unique thing. They never amount to hardly anything. Warcraft takes or World of Warcraft, they were taking everything that these guys were doing in the novels, in the
Mhm.
comics, in the mangas, and they were incorporating it into the game for the players. So
Nice.
if you read all that stuff, you'd know about it as soon as you seen it in game. If you didn't know about it and all you ever did was play the game, it might be something brand new, like, oh, well, where did this come from? But it wouldn't be that much of a shock. It would just be something new that Blizzard added. But for all of us that maybe read some of this stuff, like the first time we seen Coral Strassus, the Blue Dragon, if you read the manga, you know where he came from. If you didn't, it was the first time you ever seen him when you went to the Dragon Shrine over there in Northrend. Interesting stuff, man.
That's cool. No,
Yeah.
it's good stuff. Yeah, I like that. There's a lot of lore and things like that in these worlds. Anything that has a lot of history to it, I'm usually a big fan of. It's just something that I never played. Um, Assassin's Creed stuff like that. I dig anything that's like that has that type of stuff in it. I love ancient things as well, and we'll get into more of that stuff later too. But let me introduce. We got some other people on panel as well, and we have Steph. Anyone who's watched the toy streams, she's popped on. And Steph, it's awesome to have you on here.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for having me on. And I'm here predominantly because I played World of Warcraft since like 2008, I think. So Wrath of the Lich King. So yeah,
Nice.
I wanted to I'm always down to talk some World of Warcraft.
Very cool. Was that your favorite out of all the games that they made, or is it just the one that
Um,
came first?
yeah, I mean it's the one I played first, but it was a really cool expansion. Then the next expansion after that was Cataclysm, and like the game changed. They like dumbed down everything. They dumbed down specs. And so
Mm.
it really changed like the core of the game, and then you got used to it, and then they changed it again. So then everyone was freaking pissed, but like,
Oh, I can imagine.
yeah, and they keep dumbing it down, for which is really annoying because it was supposed to be a complicated game, but then some stuff like stayed over. Like if you played a shaman, you had 20 million spells on your bar, but then if you want to play I don't know, a freaking hunter or whatever, you have like five, and it's boring as hell.
Mhm. Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the only
and
thing that I know that's even remotely close to any of this stuff was I tried some Pathfinder, and for those who
Oh my
watched, it was pretty hilarious what we did on that. It was on Reni's channel and all that, and the character I came up with. I came up with some kind of orc that was basically Alex Jones selling swamp pills. Um, it
And the
really
frog's gay.
yeah, the frogs are gay. It's the atrazine in the water. They're in the anyway. But oh, it was great. Half the people loved it, and then the guy who's the story, the one who does like the storytelling. What the hell? What do they call him?
The DM.
Yeah, the dungeon master. He was like irate. He was infuriated what I did. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I thought we're having fun. But anyway, yeah. So I know a little bit. I heard it's kind of similar in some fashion. So, but yeah, again, I dig all that stuff. So great to have you on here, stuff. Looking forward to hearing more about all of this and you guys kind of going off on it. And of course, we also have Chris Fisk in the house. brother, I know you got some extra knowledge about these games and
Yeah.
what.
Fortunately.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I mean, like Tommy was mentioning, like the lore and everything, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, I wish the developers were as interested in the lore as the fans and all the auxiliary content, because they literally on their BlizzCon stage got like out autistified or whatever by one of their own fans who's like, on page 17 of blah blah blah, one of your novels, there's a character that's mentioned here, and yet when you go there in the game, they're not there, and the guys who are being paid all this money to maintain continuity are like, my bad. They didn't even know. Yeah,
wow.
and it's frustrating because like that the people who made Warcraft or World of Warcraft and all that stuff,
Mhm.
they it's like what Steph was saying, like they changed the game because the people who made it what it was, they left, and the people that replaced them started, like, you could see the talent drain.
Yeah.
And the writing took a hit. Like, you could see the Wrath of the Lich King arc, which is kind of the main kind of story of Warcraft in general. It has two concurrent stories, one for the human side essentially, and then one for the orc side. I'm simplifying it, but
Yeah.
that's basically what it is, those two concurrent stories, and they merge together toward the end.
Okay.
And after that, then we started running on fumes with their stories, and it showed because they got this guy Steve Denuzer who came in from he was originally like a mod on Sony Online Entertainment, their EverQuest stuff. Big power tripping douchebag. Like, it was him and this other chick, Firewolf, who was the other mod. Like, Denuzer would like ban me for saying like just pretty innocuous things, and then she would like unban me. So it was kind of funny watching that little little spat back and forth.
Yeah.
And then he ended up going over to a company that Kurt Schilling had founded, the pitcher. And they crashed and burned over in like Massachusetts or Rhode Island or something. And then he oozed his way into Blizzard basically and became like their lead storyteller for a while. And that was when it was like everybody I knew that either worked at Blizzard or were big Warcraft fans were like, what the hell? Get Chris Menson back. This is terrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a damn shame when you got people like that. But again, we know that happened to Assassin's Creed as well. We had they got rid of the head guy, Patrice.
Twice.
Oh my God, that poor bastard. But yeah, I mean, these companies, they're nasty. They're notorious for doing terrible things. But people still love these games. And they want to be, more a part of all this stuff. Oh, we lost somebody.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm sure she'll be back. She kind of dropped out in the middle over there before. And I understand it's been going around again with the
internet,
the internet flu. Let's put it that way.
Oh, which, by the way, we should be getting a couple more people on a little bit later as well. Hopefully, I know Scott's he wanted to try to make it onto this one, so fingers crossed that he'll be able to jump in at some point. I think Adam might be coming in too. But yeah, let me say hi to people too. We got Tehillim29 out there. What's up, Tehillim? Good seeing you. Oh, I think she's back. Ooh. There we go.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
I know all the wonderful internet stuff we got going on.
Do you guys got a cold front there, Steph?
Well, it was really warm today, but like the wind is freaking chilly as hell.
Okay, because your icon is very nipply.
It's a white nipple.
It's a wee bit packy.
I'll try to find a Sylvanas picture just to stay in theme tonight.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, we got Killy Chow in the house as well. How you doing, man? Good seeing you. He's in Huntsville right now. What's up, man? Captain Outis.
What up, Captain? Captain.
Right. But like I said, we should have some more people jumping in as well. Yeah, Tommy. I mean, obviously, you could grab the reins for a bit. I'm kind of sketching out one of the characters. We'll kind of messing around again. I never drawn these characters before, so
yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Now she got her Sylvanas up. See,
that's cool.
Yeah.
I need to get my character up. I got to dig it out. But
before we go,
Well, no, she's got these big elven eyebrows.
Gotcha.
They just
Yeah,
come way
That's
out.
the Warcraft elf. Yeah.
Right.
Don't you just want to like twirl them like a mustache?
Got the Pringles eyebrows.
That'd be great.
Oh.
But I'm kind of curious. Where did both of you start off in the game? Now, I didn't come into the first game. I missed Warcraft itself. I was actually working with some guys that were playing Magic the Gathering, and they're the ones that kept like hemming and hawing about, you need to play World of Warcraft. They brought the World of Warcraft card game in, and they got me playing it. And then the final catalyst was for me was actually watching that South Park episode with World of Warcraft, and I just died laughing. I said, "Oh my god, this looks so funny! I'm going to have to just check this out for the sheer hell of it." And it was right around that time that Burning Crusade was getting ready to drop. So I wound up. My wife had bought both games for me at the time, so I got the first, and then Burning Crusade, which obviously was pre-order. What was coming in, she gave them both at once, and right around my birthday, so it was kind of like cool. And I got into it playing there from Burning Crusade, but obviously I had to get through all the beginning content first through the first game, but that's really where I got started, is really coming in at the Burning Crusade. Did either one of you come in at Warcraft? Did you come at the beginning of World of Warcraft? Steph, you first.
Yeah, no, not at the beginning. Like I started playing it because my friends were playing it, basically. So I started. Yeah, like I said, I started at Lich King. So that was the 4th expansion, because it's that right after Burning Crusade, right?
Yeah, Lich King was right after Burning Crusade, and then after that was Cataclysm, and like I really don't remember what the newer one was called. I think it's Midnight or something. I lost track of it because I quit right around 2019 after the Battle for Azeroth. I got so infuriated with Blizzard that I walked away.
Yeah.
Leave that there, Chris. We'll bring it back up in a minute.
Oh, I got a bunch of these if you want. Because I've been to BlizzCon.
Oh, you got a lot of Burning Crusades. I see.
So were you kind of talked into it too, Steph? I mean, like I was.
Well, I don't know. I just watched my my best friend's brother play it. Every time, like I would go over to his house and we play Xbox or whatever. Like we thought we were cool playing Call of Duty, and then I'd see my friend's brother play World of Warcraft, and he had like the whole setup with the old World of Warcraft mouse, and I was like, "What's that game?" And then he explained it to me and shit, and I was like, "That looks cool." And then I started playing with him.
Nice.
Very nice. Chris.
Yeah. When did I get into World of Warcraft?
Yeah, so obviously these two must have been something that you were getting into as well. But go ahead.
So I started with Warcraft.
He's like, what's Warcraft? I like these ladies.
Yeah. What's going on? I just see a bunch of what is it, Danny DeVito, when he was talking about Avatar? He goes, if I was one of them blue alien things, I'd totally bang that so we sell down a blue thing.
Oh yeah.
Liara, Mass Effect.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got into Warcraft back in the very beginning when it was called Orcs and Humans. And it had I think it was Metzen, the creator. He did his illustrations in the manual. The manual was really cool because it was a flipped book, or I should say a flipped manual, because the whole novelty of Warcraft is that it has this binary faction where you can play as either the white humans or like the orcs, for the horde, and the book, you'd flip it, and one side it was like the manual for the orcs, and the other side it was for the humans. And I thought that was really cool. And I went in to Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness, the Beyond the Dark Portal expansion. And then we went into Warcraft 3 and that expansion with Illidan there. You're not prepared. That whole thing. And then we went into World of Warcraft. And I remember how anticipated World of Warcraft was. People were champing at the bit when that thing first came out because, you had fans of Warcraft and StarCraft and Diablo, the holy trifecta of these awesome Blizzard games. And they were like, oh my God, you could play an RTS, but on the ground level as a single unit. And they released their initial like It was like their early beta or whatever. And it was basically just in Westfall and a little bit of Duskwood. And the only playable kind of characters were the humans. And then they had, I don't even think there were orcs. I think it was like humans and like, they had like the ghouls. Like the original Forsaken models were basically what we saw later on as the ghouls. And it was like, okay, I want to play this. And it, I started, back in 2004 when it launched. I got the collector's box. I did the whole thing. Yeah. And then when I ended up getting into the gaming industry shortly after, I ended up working with the people who worked on that game. So I got to pick their brains and I got to hear about all the stuff. And my first character in that game was probably the worst character you could pick because that class was not finished.
DeVito.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah. The gnome. No. The hunter class was unfinished at launch. Like I played in the beta, and then when it launched, they literally did not add any of the pet skills or anything. So you just had this crappy hunter with a pet that would aggro or like get the monster's attention essentially, and the monsters would come right after you. And your pet that aggroed this shit that you can't control because it's like wandering around near you and stuff. It like would start attracting monsters. You were just basically like a big fat kid like getting picked on in school. Like everything just came after you, and your pet couldn't get any of the monsters' attention on it, which is the whole point of the class. Is you send your pet out there to get its ass beat, and then you plick away at it with your bow. And it didn't work, and I was so pissed off because my buddy picked the paladin class, and he was just like, "I don't understand why you're having so much trouble." And he just like pops a bubble and he's invincible whenever they get like a get out of jail free card. I don't get it. There's like 1,000 things beating on him as he's like walking away unscathed.
Oh wow!
Real quick, TLM29 did World of Warcraft get too big in its world? It really didn't get too big in its own world. What it did is it actually forgot what made it great, made itself great. And that's what Chris was kind of talking about, where they kind of got away from everything. So it started out really good. Like I was mentioning, they were incorporating stuff from the novels. They were paying attention to their lore. They were giving a lot of fan service. And then all of a sudden they weren't. And that was part of the reason why I cashed out. It wasn't just like the whole thing with Blitzchung, where, they banned him. Then they brought him back because they realized they were being jerk-offs. And it wasn't just that. It was also what they did to the people that were getting Warcraft 3 Reforged. Basically, they fucked the whole game up and then told people, oh, well, tough shit, we're not fixing it. So you're just going to have to wait until we decide to. It was shit like that. That's what happened. It wasn't that it got too big, is that they stopped caring about the fans.
Yeah.
And Teal'c also says he remembers StarCraft, and funny enough, StarCraft characters make their way into World of Warcraft. The Draenei.
Oh, yeah.
I heard when it would, I think, was it Trent Kanuga? Wasn't he the one that did a lot of the art style?
Well, he didn't do a lot. He was definitely on the art team, but like Glenn Rain was clearly one of the big art directors there. Okay. Obviously, like back in the OG, it was Chris Metzen. His sketches were, if you ever got like the Warcraft 2 manual, he has that classic. It's like a human warrior in the foreground with this like yoked out of his gourd like double mini axe troll about to kick his ass, and then they redesigned the trolls to be more like gangly and shit, so it kind of doesn't fit anymore. And then Samwise Didier came in, and he definitely gave a lot of good like shape to like the Taurens and stuff. In fact, he actually had a band for a while. They were at BlizzCon, and I believe they were at a lot of the events, which was Elite Tauren Chieftain or ETC.
That was the guy from Gwar.
Well, that was it may have been based off of that, but that was Samwise's original character. Like when he was.
No, I'm saying when they did the Tauren Leaf, the Chieftain, and it had the singer, that was the guy from the original singer from Gwar that was doing the singing.
Oh, I thought it was Samwise. He must have just been the guitarist or something. But yeah, like they had like that at all of the company events and stuff, which was pretty cool. And that's kind of where I got a little disappointed with Blizzard as it became more leftified, is that when OG World of Warcraft launched, it was about metal. Like it was like you were looking at like a Frazetta or like a Boris Vallejo painting, and you were hearing like the Ice Springs, or like in some cases, you get the lead singer of Cannibal Corpse in an interview taking his time to rather than talking about his band, talking about how much the Alliance is full of a bunch of elf pussies and that the Horde is the only true faction in that game.
Dude, you know what? I really wish that we could do it. I know we can't get away with it, but I wish we could bring up that freaking Murloc song that they did.
Well, we can do it on
From the
Rumble.
coast of Westfall.
Make a note of it. We'll show it later on Rumble.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here are the Blood Elves, and they were told to act like snobby bitches. So a lot of people, a lot of people were like really pissed off and making complaints. It was like, hey, can I get a picture? They're like, oh, whatever. Hey, do you have any mama?
That's funny, so.
I tell you, if you played World of Warcraft, you had to have known about Ralph-Amal. Ralph-Amal.
Keck. Yeah. Oh, do you remember that back in the OG days where in order to keep the factions separated, they had open world chat and local chat? So when you were in a zone and people were talking to each other that weren't in the same faction, they had their own like opposite language ease where you would talk to somebody and like LOL, like laugh out loud, became KEK.
Yeah,
so
Keck.
you'd see a bunch of people typing Keck.
Yeah, it still
Which
does
is
that,
in German. Yeah, and in German, an expletive, like, you know how we say like shit, or kishu in Japanese. Well, they say cat.
They say what?
So everybody's like cack, like
okay.
so it sounds very similar to keck. So it's like, why are all these really angry Alliance people shouting cack at me?
Yeah, because if you can't take the flack, you got to suck the cack. I gotta ask you, did you? Now I played both sides because I was a bit of a turncoat in World of Warcraft, and I would play both sides. So I had a dwarf who was a warrior, and his name was Smasher. Then my main guy was this guy right here. This was my main guy. This was, and at the time when I first joined during Burning Crusade, nobody was really doing crazy names. I was the first one that came up with this name, and then people started stealing it left and right. And then they were watching my account, and they started stealing every name that I made. This guy's name was Beef Chuck.
Battle beef.
Then I made a hunter who was Sear Loin. Then I did a Tauren druid who was Patty O'Beef. Then I did a Tauren paladin when paladins became available, and he was called Light Chuck. Then I had a Tauren Death Knight who was Rotten Chuck. So the only one that was odd is I had a Tauren shaman, just like William Shatner. And his was actually an amalgam of my name, so it was Tattoo, TATTWO, Tattoo.
Nice.
But did you guys only play one faction, or did you play both?
I play both.
Oh, Horde all the way. Like I
Horde
even have a
the
Horde
Horde!
tattoo. I have a Horde tattoo. I have a Sylvanas tattoo on my calf. Like I
Oh
will
my
never touch
goodness.
Alliance. I don't
Oh,
care.
that's cool.
Well, you heard the reason why Blood Elves are on the Horde side, right?
What?
Because when they brought this game to Asia, Asian players were very superficial, and they didn't want to play, as they called it, ugly characters. So the Blood Elves were originally supposed to be on the Alliance side, and the Pandaren were supposed to be on the Horde side in the Burning Crusade expansion. But China, because Blizzard saw dollar signs when China opened its doors and made it like no longer illegal to do gaming and all that stuff, because they actually outlawed video games for a while. When they opened that big frontier, they didn't realize that China was like a giant country of thieves. But they put out, hey, we're gonna, here's our Burning Crusade or whatever, and China's like, no, that's not gonna fly here in this country. We have to okay it. And they went through several stipulations, like apparently showing exposed bones is prohibited in Chinese media.
And blood as well.
Yeah. All the blood is green in the Chinese version of World of Warcraft. But so the whole Forsaken race started getting like completely revamped, and they couldn't also depict violence against pandas. So the Pandaren class, which is weird because they later did Mists of Pandaria, but like the Pandaren class or Pandaren race was off the table. It was originally supposed to be for the Horde. In fact, there was actually a quest in the Barrens for Chen Stormsnout, to get his like keg or whatever. And they completely just retconned that and like, yep, never happened.
Well, here's something else they did, and most people don't know it unless you got caught some of the early artwork that they were doing for it. So originally, when they were doing Mist of Pandaria, the Pandaren and that whole, the Timeless Isles and everything.
Yeah, the wandering.
Most of the buildings were actually more Japanese in structure originally.
Oh,
now to get on the good side of China. That's why there were such big changes were made. And that's why all the buildings look a little bit more Chinese or Mandarin, if you want to say, in nature.
By the way, we do have Adam's on panel as well. How you doing, Adam?
I finally got the computer fired up. We got storms rolling through, so lovely.
Oh, no worries. Have you played World of Warcraft?
Negative. The best part I saw of World of Warcraft was when Mr. T was the character in the commercial. No, I did not.
I'm a level night Mohawk.
I'm a night elf Mohawk fool.
Yeah. Well, just to finish Blizzard started looking at the population of their servers, and they realized that there were no Horde players in China. Nobody played on the Horde. It's like 100% Alliance. Wow. So they're like, shit, we have the Chinese breathing down our necks about not being able to show the Pandarans, and we have the Blood Elves or whatever are another pretty race for the Alliance, so it's just going to add more Alliance players, and it defeats the whole purpose of that dichotomy of the game. Mm-hmm. So they moved the Blood Elves over to the Horde, and suddenly the population became like 80% Horde Blood Elves and like 20% Night Elves on the Alliance. Nobody played, it was just pretty races. So that's why they did that, and they've been slowly. I have no idea how they finagled the Mists of Pandaria thing after being all those stipulations of you can't depict violence against pandas in China. Right. So I have no idea what reversed or what changed, but I know that Blizzard got royally screwed because China is just an organized crime syndicate. You cannot run a business. You cannot run a foreign business in China. You have to have a proxy. And the proxy that Blizzard used to do business in China was, I think it was the Nine or one of those other companies. And there is no privately owned business in China because it's a communist country. So everything's run by the CCP. And when the Nine or whoever it was took their servers, just took all their stuff, Blizzard's like, what the hell? Where's our servers? Where's our game? They ended up, going to the authorities and going, what the hell? You got to get our servers back and all this stuff. And the authorities said, you didn't bribe the right officials. Sorry, we can't help you.
Wow.
So there is a theme park in China called the Joy Funland or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's literally all of it's like Blizzard Land. They kind of made fun of it in Overwatch where they made a map called Blizzard Land or Blizzard World or whatever. And it's literally what is in China right now. And Blizzard doesn't see a single cent of it. So there's a whole Blizzard property themed theme park in China. It's got the Stormwind Castle that you can walk through. It's got the StarCraft ride and a Diablo ride and stuff. And so that's the price of doing business outside of America.
They should have just banned China. Fuck them.
Hey, real quick. I want to jump into something for all the people out there in the chat, just to give them a little something extra. So while we're talking about all this stuff, look at that picture already coming out, Vinny. Look at that.
Yeah. Just kind of messing around here.
Where'd it go?
Figure it out. I don't know where
I tried to give Vinny, and then as soon as I went to give Vinny, it moved. It did it again. Wow, that's weird. Why is that all moving?
Oh, sorry, that's Adam? Me. I was just moving the photo.
Oh, okay. All right.
My bad.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah, just roughing something out. I don't know. It's just as you guys are talking.
Oh man, keep at it, man. Keep at it, guys. Pay attention. Artiste in the house. But here, I want to show off something real quick for everybody that's hanging in chat. Everybody's going to be watching later on. Something a little bit fun. If you don't know about this, and I'm sure I'm going to get a chuckle out of both Steph and Chris. I'm sure, Vinny, you might have heard about this. Maybe Adam has as well. But this is absolutely hysteric. You got to pay attention to what they're saying, and it all makes sense toward the end. If you know it, you know it. Here we go.
Guys, these eggs have given us a lot of trouble in the past. Does anybody need anything off this guy, or can we bypass him?
I think Leroy needs something from this guy.
Oh, he needs those devout shoulders. Isn't he a paladin?
Yeah, but that'll help him heal better. He'll have more mana.
Christ. Okay. Well, what we'll do, I'll run in first, gather up all the eggs so we can kind of just blast them all down with AOE. I will use Intimidating Shout to kind of scatter them so we don't have to fight a whole bunch of them at once. When my shout's done, I'll need Anthony to come in and drop his shout too, so we can keep them scattered, not to fight too many. When his is done, Bass, of course, will need to run in and do the same thing. We're going to need Divine Intervention on our mages, so they can AE, so we can, of course, get them down fast, because we're bringing all these guys. I mean, we'll be in trouble if we don't take them down quick. I think it's a pretty good plan. We should be able to pull it off this time. What do you think, Abdul? Can you give me a number crunch real quick?
Yeah, give me a sec. I'm coming up with 32.33, repeating, of course, percentage of survival.
Oh, that's a lot better than we usually do.
All right, thumbs up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Oh my god, he just ran in.
Save him! Oh, geez, stick to the plan!
Oh, Jesus. Let's go. Stick to the plan, Shove.
Stick to the plan!
Oh, gee. Oh, fuck. Give me Divine Intervention. Hurry up.
Shout.
I can't cast. I can't move. Am I lagging, guys? I can't move. What the hell? I can't aim. Oh my god. The eggs keep spawning. More respawning. I don't think you can cast with that shit. Oh my god. Shout.
Get off.
I got it. Get off.
Come on, down.
Oh my god.
God damn it, Leroy.
God damn it. Leroy, you moron.
Leroy.
Jimmy.
This is ridiculous.
Don't mess. I'm down, forking down. God damn it. I killed before I could leave all this. God. Oh, Spiffy, res us.
Why do you do this shit, Leroy?
I'm trying.
It's not my fault.
Who's soul stoned?
We do have a soul stone up, don't we?
Anthony, did you get soul stones? Warlock. Oh god.
Oh, for...
Great job, for Christ's sake. Leroy, you were just stupid as hell. Over it on.
At least I have chicken.
Imagine if that was a hardcore server.
Oh, shit.
Is anybody here not heard of Leroy Jenkins?
I have the player card in the trading card game. For
Yes,
Origin.
I have it too.
He has his own card.
Yeah. Because remember how I was saying earlier about my friend being a dumbass, where he's like playing the paladin, and he's like, I don't understand why you're having so much trouble. If you noticed, while this asshole was going around and aggroing everything so that it stirred up the hive to go attack everybody, he would put a bubble around him, and that bubble made him invincible. The one with the little shields and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he was pissing everything off, getting a whole train, as they call it, of enemies, and then he just walked by all of his friends trying to do shit, and they just started attacking all of his friends, and he was the last to die.
Yeah, so this was apparently it was all staged by him and the guild that he was working with. So it was staged. But here's the funny thing. So there were people that did this shit in dungeons.
Yes.
I don't know if this particular Tauren right here, I may have done a few things like that in a few dungeons where I aggroed half the dungeon. And they're like, you son of a bitch. People get really mad about that shit because of the in-game cost back in the day of repairing all your gear from getting destroyed by a bunch of high-level elites.
Oh, shit.
Well, if that was on a hardcore game server, like you get better loot, you get better experience and shit. But if your character dies, that's it. There's no resurrection unless somebody magically resurrects you. Like there's no like coming back. So when your character dies, he's dead. And in a scenario like we just saw, that would have been murder threats. That would have been, I'm gonna hunt you for sport, Leroy.
Yeah. Oh, that's
the thing, anybody hasn't heard of it, that's one of the fun things about this game. And talking about the cards, where they put them in the cards, they also had a small part where they put them in the game as well.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember. It was somewhere along the Kalimdor coast where they were fighting against the Horde, but there's a guy that does the Leroy Jenkins, and it's supposed to be Leroy Jenkins, and he charges the Horde. I don't think he's ever seen again after that, though.
I can imagine.
Panda hunting season, where the pandas hunt you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was just a little fun thing I definitely had to add for this. I mean, God, man, it's so much fun shit that's in that game. And there's been so many things that have changed throughout the year. So one of the things about World of Warcraft, and I want to get everybody's opinion, of course, that played the game. Like, what was the first thing that you noticed that changed in the game? I'm going to start with you, Chris. Like, like during one expansion, what was something that majorly changed that really got your attention?
I think Steph had mentioned it earlier, but for me, once the Wrath of the Lich King or that the Lich King arc ended and we went into Cataclysm kind of ruined the game for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just like they changed the geography. Like, part of the charm of World of Warcraft to me was the familiar sights and sounds. Like, I don't know about on the Horde side, but when I was on the Alliance side and I'm walking through like Elwyn Forest and you hear that little, the little flute, like you see the little Murlocs over at Crystal Lake, like that was cool. And then all of a sudden they're like, no, we got to make it so that, we didn't think ahead when we were building our geometry. So we had to actually rebuild our entire world, and we changed all the geography. And in my opinion, they changed it for the worse. Like Ashenvale went straight to hell. And some of the Horde places did too. And it took it out for me. And the more they added, the less I liked it. Like, I think that's why things like Nostralia and the WoW Classic servers are so popular. It's because I think there's a lot of people that share that same sentiment. Like, guys, you struck gold out of the gate. Stick with that.
I mean, me myself, I don't mind some changes, but yeah, sometimes I think you're right. They went too far. Steph, go ahead.
Yeah, I think like I did play some of those servers as you mentioned because of the nostalgia of like how it was. And I mean, I never played the older expansions where like hunters had to make their own freaking arrows, but it was cool to experience it anyway.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
You had to make your own arrows. You had to make your own shot, and that was where being a blacksmith for the shot really did come in handy.
Well, we had a quiver. We were actually at a disadvantage to every other class because we actually had to occupy a bag slot for our.
And if you wanted multiples, you had to have multiple quivers filled with your arrows or multiple bags filled with shot.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So
but I mean, it's what made it cool. In a way.
I was going to ask, so are all the play mechanics the same, whatever you pick, if you're going to be in the Horde or not?
Well, your basic idea of your setup is similar, but that's where it ends. Like, each core mechanic for each class runs a little bit different. So even a warlock who's a spellcaster doesn't play exactly the same as, say, a mage. A mage does a lot of running and gunning because they're what we call squishy.
Yeah, tigers. Yeah.
Yeah, because they wear cloth outfit and they have like very little life points. They don't stand up, say, like a plate wearer, like my beef chuck here as a warrior. Like, we take a lot more hits than the squishy little mages. So the mages do a lot of running and gunning. They freeze you in place. They'll sheep you, which if you ever seen the Warcraft movie, that's where the whole sheeping thing comes from. It comes from that. Yeah. So
yeah, I did see the movie. Yeah. Again, not knowing anything about it, it was entertaining. I thought it was all right.
Well, really good graphics, horrible lore.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. But like, so the core mechanics for World of Warcraft was based on like a 40-year-old at the time mechanic or kind of under like the back end. It's something called a Deku mud. And to go back even further, a mud was something that was originally just a text adventure, and mud stood for multi-user dungeon. And people used to play that like on AOL. Remember, there was one Neverwinter Nights and all that stuff. Way back in the day, it was all, you had like your text prompt. You'd be like, I'm going to face north. Like, if you've ever played like Zork or any of those games, it was kind of like that, but it was run by like sometimes they were run by Dungeon Master. Sometimes it was all automated, but it was like a multiplayer version of that. And that's actually what World of Warcraft is. The only difference is that it has like a graphical layer on top of it. So all of the moves that you've made have already been, determined by number crunches behind the scenes. So like if you visually dodge a fireball, you will actually see the server goes, no, you got hit by that fireball. And suddenly the fireball will do like a U-turn and hit you.
So as my wife was walking by, I'd mentioned the quiver and then the shot bags and everything. She mentioned something else that I literally forgot all about, and it was one of the changes. Actually, was for the better. Remember, hunters used to use mana as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah, arcane shot. Yeah. Oh,
Bro.
dude, hunters were the shit class, man.
Mm.
Like, I spoke to one of the designers about the classes back in the day. So originally there weren't supposed to be paladins and hunters and all that stuff. Those were prestige classes. That's why it was really weird when the Death Knight class it was like the only class that came out of nowhere.
Dude, Death Knights were so overpowered when they first hit.
Well, they were supposed to be the counterpart to the paladin. And the paladin, the ranger, or the hunter, and I can't remember what other ones there were. I think the warlock. Those were all supposed to be prestige classes, meaning that you had to like level up and get to like level max or whatever of like just the mage, just the rogue, just the fighter, and then or just the priest. And then you either opt to get into the other class. So if you wanted to be the paladin, it was like go do all the warrior stuff. And then it like resets into the priest class or whatever, or you create another character and level up the priest. And then it says, congratulations, you've unlocked the prestige class of paladin. And you are significantly more powerful than a warrior and a priest, but you have kind of like their same qualities kind of mixed together. And they kind of did away with that, and they added in the talent tree. And in a way, I can definitely see the argument for the talent tree, because God, back in the day, like the autism was off the scale, man, when you could like try to min-max all those little paths and stuff.
Oh, geez. You know what? And when you're talking about the talent tree, I want to get Steph's thought on that real quick before you move on, Chris. But I know when they had the talent tree and you had to pick which you were going to do, there were so many really cool things that you had to maybe miss out on your top talent tree ability to be able to put something in another tree so you could kind of mix and match it at one point. And then they took that away. And then they said, okay, when you're doing talent tree stuff, it's just this talent tree. Steph, did you do that as well? Did you kind of mix and match when they had the multiple talent trees?
Yeah, it was really fun because like you could really build your own character. It felt more like playing, like Vinny mentioned earlier, like Pathfinder. You had a lot of tools to be creative with your character, and then now it's dumbed down in the way that if you don't have this one talent tree that everyone's using, you're gonna be shit in raids and shit in keys, and it's just like it's like trying to, it's too homogenous. Like everyone has to play this one class or you're gonna be shit, you know. It's kind of like what we see in society too, you know. If you veer off the path, well,
that sucks.
Yeah, well, it's what happens when the mid-maxers take over, and then the designers don't listen. Like they over-designed or they overcompensated for a problem that really wasn't much of a problem. In my opinion, personally, what they should have done was completely eliminate the cost of respec. So in the game, you put all those points into your talent tree, and then it locks in. This is what you have. And then you play it out and you're like, wow, this is a shitty build. I gimped my character essentially. And then you got to go spend like a gold or whatever to like a trainer or whomever to reset or respec your
wait a minute,
character.
wasn't it even more than that? Like, wasn't it something like ridiculous, like 15 gold to reset it?
Yeah,
No, I remember. No, it was cheaper early on, but as you respect, it got more and more expensive.
Yeah. And in my opinion, that was a bad design call because that discouraged players from experimentation. They had to do a lot of like meta gaming or outside of the gaming thing, like they had calculators and all this shit. When in reality, that's where the homogeneity of the classes came in, is that people were like, well, you chose poorly with your spec, and now you're going to go spend X amount of gold or get penalized in some way to respec for this build. And it's like, why didn't you just allow players to have unlimited respecs, not have it be something they have to go consult an NPC to, just literally reset my my character skill points, and then even save presets. So if I'm going into a dungeon, I could be like, hey, I'm going to go with the dungeon respec or whatever, or I'm going to go on the solo.
They did add that kind of later on. Now, once again, they didn't give you the ability to mix and match through different trees and everything, but they gave you a second talent tree. So you can have, so if you were a warrior like I was, and you normally would just play in arms for most of your questing and everything, but you wanted to be able to get in dungeons, because anybody knows a tank is what they call, the guy who's got the shield and is going to be protecting the crew. They're going to get into any dungeon in the blink of an eye. Where if you're just a damage dealer, forget it. You're waiting in queue forever. If you're a healer or if you're a tank, you're getting him right away. So it was always really good for like a warrior or a paladin and everything, have a second, or a druid, have that second class be a tank class, so you could just jump in and out of dungeons all the time. So that was actually a good add. But once again, you didn't have that customization like we had earlier, where we can mix, match, and trees.
Well, because it was like, it was a Band-Aid on top of a Band-Aid. Like, if they would have just gone to the core system and given players, like, I don't understand what was going on in the design meeting where the arguments were against player free respecking and then saving preset like specs. Because like you said, everybody's going to go into the dungeon queue if they see a warrior with a prot spec or whatever. It's like, why not just be like, hey warrior, switch to your proc spec, Okay. because that was the fun of the game, even from like a noob perspective, is the experimentation of creating your own character, because you could come up with discoveries that some people might not have. Like, I played a rogue, and one of my favorite specs was you had 3 different kind of tables or trees that you could spec through. One of them was called like subtlety, so it was all about like your stealth. One of them was called like basically like your swords and fighting, and then I can't remember what the third one was. But
the last one was all about poisons.
Oh yeah, poisons and venoms and stuff. Thanks. Yeah, so you had these 3 things. My thing is I put all of mine into subtlety so that I could get out of jail free card, because they had this really cool thing called disengage, where it was like you're getting your ass kicked, you just throw a smoke bomb basically, and you go into stealth and you can run away. The other one, well, what I did was I put it about halfway through, and then I went into the weapons and beefed up the weapons until I could get disarm, which was this really cool ability to make it so the character your opponent couldn't attack. They had to like re-equip their weapon and shit. So having those 2 in parity was a really fun spec that I wish I could just save it and then go, okay, now I'm going into a dungeon and I need to be, 100% venom spec or whatever, and get my, whatever it is, my backstabbing up or whatever. So I don't understand why they chose, those decisions. And I think the game suffered for it greatly in the later expansions.
Wow, that's crazy.
Because they were like, instead of reviewing some of the changes they made and like retro, like removing them or going backwards, they're like, no, we're just going to tack on to the bad decisions we already made to kind of try to fix what we did.
Yeah. I like that though. You're basically the Green Goblin. You throw a smoke bomb, disappear, and then come back later to attack. Sorry, stuff you were saying.
And they kept doing that. They're still doing that. They're still fucking in classes. Like, I used to love Discipline Priest, and then they changed it completely. And like when Death Knight first came out, like the Frost was a tank spec, and then Blood was DPS. But now it's Blood is tank and Frost is DPS, and they just keep changing shit, bro. And Rogue sucks ass. And, I stopped playing last year because like they just keep fucking around with stuff, and now they totally. I used to play. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say the Frost Death Knight. I just wanted to add on real quickly because you mentioned Frost Death Knight. Before the Frost Death Knight came out, there was only one other character that allow you to walk across water, and that was the Shaman. And everybody liked to have a Shaman in the group that get them across water for something. Yeah. And then when that Frost Death Knight, you had that Path of Frost, which allowed you to walk across the freaking ocean as well. I just wanted to mention that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Those picks are really cool, but like, yeah, I've been playing. So I started playing tank, and then I sort of found healing. I was like, oh, this is cool. I can chill in the background and just heal people. So I started playing Shaman, and I played Shaman for like 7 years, bro. And it was so fun. And Totemic was like a specific spec for those of you who don't play, and you have different totems you could put on the ground, and they buffed your party or they buffed you and stuff.
Mhm.
And it was really freaking fun. But then last year, before Midnight came out, they all changed it. So now you had to play Farseer, which you don't use your totems at all, and you just rely on this freaking ghost appearing to heal for you. And it was bullshit. I was like, fuck that.
Oh, wow.
I'm not even playing Midnight. Like, nah, it's gross.
That's so,
It's
they
disappointing.
They kneecapped the healing so they could put that shit in there.
Well, yeah, and a lot of it has to do with their inability to define purity of purpose for their classes.
Yeah.
So if you like distill role playing classes down to their core elements, it's literally the Holy Trinity, which is tanks, DPSs, and healers. Like that's it. That's if you were to get like pull off all the veneer and look at its ugliness underneath, that's all it is. And so they started adding in all these other like hybrid classes, and that fucking druid, dude, like that is the worst class I've ever seen, because it originally was the jack of all trades, master of nothing, and then it became the jack of all trades, master of everything for a while.
Dude, they're the only class that wound up having 4 separate freaking talent trees.
Yeah, and like for example, if you like I think there was like a rogue ability or so. Or, no, you could get an item that you could throw a net on somebody and it could slow them down or stop them or whatever. Well, all a druid had to do was just switch forms, because the druid's ability, like they could actually change into like a bear or a cat or like this thing called a moonkin. And they just switched between those.
Or what did they all call it? Steph, what did they call it? What was the other name everybody called
Boomkin.
The Boomkin.
Yeah, and this is when, to me, this is when I had like a personal vendetta against whoever designed the druids, because in the game there are these locations, and I think they did away with a lot of them in the old world, but they actually had like PvP zones that weren't part of a PvP server, where like there was like the echoes of was it the echoes of Lordaeron or whatever, where there's a tower over in the Plaguelands that you could capture for the Horde or for the Alliance. And I remember I was a rogue and I saw the solitary druid just sitting there like a dumbass, and I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be like taking candy from a baby. I looked at like I did what they called proct, where I looked at their you basically assess. Oh, I'm sorry, not proct. Where you basically assess like what level they are. And you're like, okay, this guy's like 5 levels below me. This is going to be a cakewalk. I'm going to bully this asshole, So I go into stealth, and I got my potion, my poisons on my blades. Like I had like the mana bane or whatever, which greatly reduced every time I hit him, it took out their magic points. And the other one was like, I think it was like it weakened them or slowed them down or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. And I got the jump on this guy, so I'm in stealth. And that's the whole point of the rogue, is they are a glass cannon. They are not sustainable fighters. They need to throw everything in the kitchen sink at somebody and then get the fuck out of Dodge. And if they don't kill somebody in that first, that first ambush, that first assault, then they're screwed, because they're squishy. They're not like warriors that can wear armor and shit. Mm-hmm. So I went in there and wham, again, 5 levels below me, he's by himself. What does he do? He instantly pops into a different form, so he's like stunned or whatever, pops into a different form. I have to stun him again with like a kidney shot or whatever. And then while he's stunned, he throws up these instant cast like pets, these little golden tree things that start beating on me while I'm working on this guy, throwing everything I had at him. And he started healing himself. Like after he got out of the stun, he healed himself back up to max. I'm getting my ass beat by these stupid little trees kicking on me. And then on top of that, I threw my disengage. Remember, I've got that get out of jail free card.
Mm-hmm.
I threw my disengage to get out of Dodge, because I'm not killing this guy. If I didn't kill him instantly, I got to run. It's like a predator. If you don't kill the prey, you got to get the hell out of there. So right. I'm trying to get out of there, but he's got like vision something or whatever. He can see me invisible. So he traces me down while I'm fleeing in stealth and kills me. And I'm 5 levels above him. And I had this, and I had a designer friend or coworker watching me doing this, because I was doing it at lunch. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, what you should have done is this, 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 and this. I'm like, okay, let's do that. So, because it was like, maybe I don't have an ego with that shit. It's like, yeah, right. I fucked up. I want to know how it fucked up, So we tried his thing, and he goes, huh. Yeah, that's a broken class.
Oh shit!
Man.
Wow, it's like the real world. What's going on?
Yeah.
There's a certain class no one could go near.
That's right.
Taking shape there, Vinny. Taking shape.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
I love how she's holding her cape. That looks freaking cool.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I'm just trying to, get a little artsy fartsy with it, frame it up a little bit with that.
That's something I would like to mention. Do you guys remember like the early models for Sylvanas? Like before she even looked like she looked like just a weird plain character. And then when they finally gave her this more elven look, that she almost looked, I mean, she wasn't completely unclothed, but she definitely looked a lot more unclothed than she looks in the later expansions. But do you remember the early one where she just looked like super plain generic? Like,
she, a high elf, yeah. Like I think in the beta they just used a banshee model. I don't even think there's a unique model for her.
Oh,
it was just a highborn or whatever.
So what's her story then? What made her such a popular character?
Steph, Steph hasn't had a chance to really say much. Steph, do you know
I'm sorry,
her backstory, right?
Oh no, it's all right. Yeah, but Sylvanas, she was a blood elf, was because and she has two other sisters that are still blood elves, but basically she got turned undead by the Lich King, and that's why she has this pale look to her. That's why she became the Banshee Queen, and eventually the War Chief of the Horde for a bit. So the Horde as a faction has a War Chief, and it changes. And she wasn't War Chief for a long time because she kind of committed some war crimes. A little genocide here and there, nothing too bad.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's sad too because technically, like here's my autism showing. Okay, technically she wasn't a blood elf; she was actually a high elf. What happened was the high elves. So the high elf area, Quel'Tha Laws, was being attacked by Arthas Menethil, who was basically this guy who got lured into. Basically, it's a Darth Vader story. He gets lured by this necromancer and Norzul and all that stuff, and gets turned into the Lich King. Puts on this demonically possessed helmet, has a sword that's demonically possessed, and his campaign is to just basically become the scourge of Azeroth and just turn everybody into undead. And Sylvanas was the captain of the Windrunners. She was one of the head guards.
She was the Ranger General.
Yeah, the Ranger General. Thanks. Yeah, she was the basically the lead of to intercept the Vanguard. And she beat the shit out of Arthas. She's like, look, everybody else has died. I don't care. I'm gonna fuck you up. And she ends up, she got Arthas to say, you made me bleed my own blood, bitch. Death is too good for you. So instead of letting her die and just become, dead or whatever, he was the Lich King. So he brought her back as one of his undead thralls, and she became a banshee. And she was under his bidding for the longest time. And so the distinction of a blood elf versus the high elves is that there was this thing called the Sunwell that gave all the elves their magical abilities, their eternal youth and everything. And the Lich King went in there and basically turned it into India. He like shit in the fucking pool basically.
Oh no!
And destroyed the Sunwell.
And what he did is he resurrected. And I forget, it was the Cult of the Damned. So it was this guy who was running the Cult of the Damned called Kel'Thuzad. And he was told by Ner'zhul, who is the actual Lich King, resurrect this guy. He's going to be extremely useful. So the only place he could resurrect him was in the Sunwell.
Yeah.
So once he did that, it tainted. And then go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. So what happened was it destroyed all of the fundamental energies of the high elves. And it corrupted it. It turned it into this stuff called fel magic, which is like an evil necrotic energy that it draws from life to create its magical abilities. Wherever you see like the color green, like glowing green, that's all fel magic in the Warcraft.
Well, he said
universe.
he's seen the movie, so he probably knows exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So that douchebag there that was like sucking the life out of those people to power the world portal. Yep. So what happened was all these elves started fucking like getting Ozempic. They started like shriveling up, and they're like, "Oh my god, like what the hell's going on? We don't have the Sunwell to sustain our eternal youth." So yeah,
they got the message basically.
Yeah, so we don't have the Sunwell to sustain our eternal youth and whatever. We're all dying and we're turning into Kelly Osbourne. So, Kel'Thuzad, no, not Kel'Thuzad. There was one of the leaders of the High Elves who's like a high sorcerer or whatever. Is like, well, fuck it, we're going to use Fel magic, and they ended up converting the Fel magic to keep them young and pretty, and it made their eyes glow green with the Fel energy. So you see all these like hot, pretty people with problems, and all of a sudden they got these big green glowing eyes because they're all using basically demonic energy to sustain themselves. And that's why they became a horde faction, is because the remaining high elves are like, no. Like the night elves are like, well, we got a tree. We don't need a well. Why don't, we got they had the moon well, but it was like, we got this other shit. Why don't, why are you using demonic energies? And that was when the rifts started, when they're like, oh, fuck. Like now the night elves are the good guys, and the now blood elves, as they call themselves, the fallen high elves, are the bad guys, and they're all drug addicts.
Wow.
What's going on, Gen X Lizard Man?
Cool.
What's up?
Hey,
All this
But
time I didn't notice. I wasn't autistic enough.
Well, I was going to say that they like in the background of all that lore, there's even a lot more lore than that. So the one guy, was that Sunstrider, the one that went through the portal to the Outlands?
I think so.
He was the one that corrupted him with the Fel energy in the well.
Well, because of Illidan,
yeah, and the Nagas and stuff. Oh God, what's her name? Lady Visage.
Visage. Yeah, God.
So I mean, there's like so much extra lore piled on top of just what we told you. Basically, what we told you is just like an entry level. Like, okay, here's some of the lore.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm oversimplifying this because, like Tommy said, there's a million other story arcs that are going on at this time. They're putting it's like a soap opera. They're putting layers on top of layers.
Yeah.
But I really like how she became the Queen of the Forsaken. The Forsaken being the undead. So she kind of, I don't know if the lore is behind why she went with the Forsaken, but she allied with the Horde. I think it was just because she was like, oh, the Horde's going to be strongest if I want to take down Arthas again.
Well, what happens is Arthas is actually when Arthas gets turned, Ner'zhul, who was the original Lich King, had tossed the rune blade Frostmourne out of his frozen throne. And when he did that, he was leaking energy. So what happened is Arthas started becoming weak. So Sylvanas and some of her closest were able to break away from the mind control.
Yep, they weren't slaves anymore.
Yeah, and then once she got out of that, that's when she's like, I'm going to get this douche for what he did to me in my
that makes sense.
And they were wholly rejected. Well, there were actually good Forsaken too, but they were wholly rejected by the living humans. They're like, monster, gross zombie, and they're like, dude, it's not my fault.
Do either one of you remember there was a quest, and I don't remember, I think they removed it, but there was a quest where you actually went down to the apothecary. So the apothecary guys they're basically like they're guys that are doing like working with potions and stuff like that. They're trying to create a plague. A plague that they're
turn all the humans.
Basically, they are the Faucis.
I was going to say
the World of Warcraft universe.
You had to get a jab.
There was a quest where you're supposed to help the Grand Apothecary, and there's 2 humans in there, and you're supposed to help get everything so they turn the humans. And I think it's they turn the guy, and then the guy goes after the which is wife or girlfriend or whatever. Like it's pretty gruesome, really. Like I'm pretty sure they removed that quest. Did either one of you guys remember that quest?
Yes. Yeah, I was a Forsaken rogue when I first started playing after I got pissed off at the Night Elf Hunter. And that was a quest in the Undercity. And the Undercity, here's the cruelty. The Undercity used to be the human capital of Lordaeron, or Lord Ron, who was one of the designers. But so it was the big capital. Like Stormwind was not the seat of power. It was actually Lordaeron, and it had this big capital city. And in Warcraft 3, when Arthas, who was actually the son, he was Prince Arthas Menethil, son of Tyrannus Menethil, king of Lordaeron. He basically comes back from the Northrend, which was like the Outlands or whatever. And he was supposed to have a campaign there, and he comes up to his dad, right in the throne room, returning as this hero or whatever. They got the bells tolling, they're giving rose petals and shit, and they're like, "Hey, our son, he returns triumphantly." And then the son just pulls out Frostmourne, the big demonic blade, and guts him like a fish. Right?
Yeah. My son, what are you doing? Succeeding you, father.
Yep. Yeah, in fact, you can hear his ghost when you're playing the game and you're going through the Undercity, which is like the capital of the Forsaken area. Everybody's dead there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see the crown. You see the little blood on the floor where the crown fell from his dad's head, and you hear the whispers of them, like the echoes of them talking, and it's really eerie. I love that little touch.
That reminds me of the what was it, Legacy of Kain, when you go back to the main throne room, and you see what's in your Ariel. She's haunting the place.
Yep. Yeah. God, there's so many cool, and this is what breaks my heart is I want my culture back. I was so blown away in 2004 when we had it so good and we've lost so much. There wasn't any like gay pride things in there. There were no like a Tauren lives matter or Orc lives matter. Yeah, it was, well, like actually, funny thing about the Taurens, they're literally the only good faction in the game.
Okay.
They're basically supposed to be like Native Americans, man. It was one of the reasons that I was drawn to them right away, and why I made so many damn Tauren characters. I just love that freaking race, man. They're so freaking awesome. And what killed me is if you read the novel, you got a little bit more than you did in game because they gave you a little bit, but nowhere near as much as you got from the novel. When they killed Cairn, that killed me when they killed Cairn Bloodhoof.
Yeah. He was Thrall's advisor. Thrall was the orc war chief who actually he was raised by humans and stuff after the defeat of the orcs in Warcraft 2.
Oh, and hold on, it wasn't a good raised by humans, Vinny.
No,
this guy found him and he raised him as a gladiator.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, but he within the human society, he had less of the urban stuff, if you know what I mean. Like he had a more, like, as terrible as his upbringing was, he wasn't. So even though he was stained green by the fell, like orcs are not supposed to be green, they're supposed to be brown, and they made a deal with the devil basically when they were on their own home world, Draenor, and they basically drank this potion that was all fell ooze essentially that gave him the blood.
It was demon blood.
Yeah, it was from the giant like centaur. I can't remember his name. The big fat thing that's like, "Your misbegotten race was because of me."
Was that
we'll call him Larry for now.
Yeah, Larry.
Therodon maybe, or
yeah. Well, so Thrall, even though he's green and he's got that demonic possession in him, he's somehow wiser. Like he's returned to like his dad's roots, like his like the more tribalistic, the more like the noble savage essentially. So he's actually wise and smart, but that's why it was important to have Cairn Bloodhoof as his advisor, because Cairn was again the Taurens. I couldn't find like they had like one or two like weird things with the evil shit, like when you go to the big the raised city that they have, but like more or less everything about them was like. Yeah, when you're at Thunder Bluff, I think there's like one section
Spirit Rise where they got all the undead.
Yeah, there you go. It's Spirit Rise, but it was like Forsaken corrupting them essentially. The actual Taurens themselves, there wasn't a single like they just want to live. Like they're like, we want to stay out of this war. That's why they weren't in the first game or the second game or any of that shit. They're just like we don't have a beef with anybody. Pun intended. But like, and then. Their whole shtick is that like we're not going to bring the war to them, but they brought the war to us. So now they just kick the hive. Like we're going to defend ourselves.
Yeah.
And having Cairn being that voice of that side of like reason and passivity and stuff as an advisor to Thrall, I think helped shape him as a character, because later on in the story, Thrall actually gets replaced by one of Thrall's like respected like friends. His son.
Well, actually, he
abdicated.
chose
Yeah.
Gromish.
Yeah, and Grom Hellscream, who is was it Grom? I thought Grom was
Grom
was the old guy. Yeah, Grom was the one that originally drank the stuff to get the blood haze. Right. His son, I can't remember his son's name, but his son didn't do that, and his son was orange or brown because he wasn't, infected by that. And a lot of people are like, "Wow, this guy's an asshole," blah blah blah. But if you really look at all of the things he did, sure, he used brutal means, but the ends were kind of justified.
I don't know why I was blanking at Garrosh.
Garrosh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And actually, Thrall had chosen Garrosh to replace him because he really felt his people wanted an orc to be able to be a leader. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. It's just a bad decision.
It was a bad decision, and it sucks because they like as the story progresses, he becomes more and more of an asshole. But when he was initially there, it was like, yeah, he's right. Like, you need the horde to be strong. Like, if another attack from the demons or whatever come, we got to be ready. We got caught with our pants down last time. And that looks badass, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Nice.
Man. Yeah,
he's just getting started. The way do we get all the detail? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Steph.
Oh, my bad. if I need to get a new tattoo, I'll come to you, Vinny.
Oh, hell yeah. That'd be awesome. I have designed a lot of tattoos for people over the years.
Oh, yeah?
The plan.
Yeah, I designed some of my own tattoos as well. I always find that if you're going to get a tattoo and you're going to get something for life, make it something that you absolutely love. And I know not everybody can draw even a little bit, but I mean, you want something to be personal. But I wanted to bring something up, and we were talking about earlier. We were talking about the changes in game. I got this one little thing that I put together. This is like a whole bunch of the different changes in game. Let me know if any of these ones strike a nerve with you two.
Dude, that was you, wasn't it?
Well, who else do you think it was going to be?
That's awesome, man. That's a rendition of the Tavern song or the Tavern.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome, man.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think the biggest change in there was the first 1,000 needles. But go ahead, Steph.
Yeah, I don't think like the Forsaken or the Undead starting area changed that much, but it's so nostalgic to me because the first one I ever made was a Undead, and I love that area. I made so many over the years, but yeah. I love that
mean,
it didn't touch it that much.
Their starting area actually did change quite a bit because that's when they brought in the
Gilneas.
Valkyrie.
Oh, really?
The Valkyrie, yeah, oh yeah, and like Brill,
yeah.
that picture of Brill, that was the early Brill before it got all built up with all the the extra fencing and the big giant tall buildings with the electricity things on it. Like Brill was this teeny tiny little town. There wasn't that many buildings there or nothing. It was pretty small.
Was it before or after Lich King?
That would have probably been before Lich King, I think. Actually,
really?
The biggest change came actually around Cataclysm, is when they really made the most changes.
Well, when they added in the what the hell were the werewolves called?
Oh, the Worgen.
Worgen.
Yeah, the Worgen. Yeah, that really did put kind of a stinker on Tira's Fall Glades, the Forsaken area, because now you need to make room for low level Gilneas or other organs to once they get out of their walled in city.
You're gonna have to repeat
Gilneas. Yeah. You kind of your volume dropped a little bit in the beginning.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I guess when my computer does stuff, it was like something popped up and all of a sudden it was like, "Boo." But I was just saying, like, when they had to redesign Tira's Fall Glades, which was like the Forsaken Zone, they redesigned it because they had the Worgens needed to be able to venture out from their starting zone and be in a moderate to medium challenging area. And Tira's Fall Glades was not like that initially. It was supposed to be like a low level undead area. So now you have this weird kind of abutting alliance, enemy faction coming in at higher levels into like the low level Forsaken area.
Well, there was something else that made it change just a little bit too.
Oh yeah,
when they got rid of Dalran and it went.
Yeah, that was stupid, dude. Like they literally lifted the whole city, floated it up, and then moved it to another location. It was like the castle in Krull.
Yeah, because originally it was a big pink bumble right over there by Ambermill.
Yeah, and it was cool because it was like a big what do they call it? Like a point of interest where like in the early games you could not even permeate that barrier. So you had all you knew was the Wizards of Dalaran locked the door. Basically, so you'd be walking by and you see this big purple dome, and you're like, I can't get in there. I wonder what's going on in there. And then it was just a landmark, and then they just ruined it where they're like, nope, we're taking that out and we're putting it over in Northrend or some other area.
And now there's 2 in the game, and it's really annoying.
Yeah.
Wow. And they never really did anything else with it.
Well, they opened it up and it became like the Wizard City, and it was like, is it a neutral faction city? I can't remember.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I think there was a small moment during one of the expansions where Proudmoore went nuts and basically booted a lot of the Horde out of Dalran.
Yeah. Jaina had to go in. Yeah. 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 Dude, yeah. Speaking, how we were talking about how they nunned up Sylvanas, like when they originally made her model, she was like this blue, sexy zombie chick. And then they nunned her up and put her in like leather bodice and a bustier or whatever and all that other stuff. Like they did that to Jaina Proudmoore too. So Jaina was one of the heroes of the Alliance. Her dad was like the captain of the seafaring area. Like they have their whole city, and it was in the Horde area, and she was trying to olive branch it. She's actually friends with Thrall, the orc chieftain or war chief. Trying to do peace and stuff. She was friends with Arthas when he fell. And or a little more than friends.
Well, they were like a love interest.
Oh my!
Yeah, and then they just nunned her up too. They're like, no. She went from basically midriff exposed, bustier, whatever, and then they're like, nope, we got to put clothes on them. It's like, how come all the orcs are still naked? What's
it's
going
so
on here?
performative too, because what's her face? The chick in Dragonflight.
Alex
Strasta.
Yeah, like if you go on the WoW website when that expansion was on, her boobs were considerably smaller. In game in the loading screens, they were fucking huge.
Yeah, well, she's based off of a Clyde Caldwell. So in Dungeons and Dragons, there's a story called or a game setting called Dragonlance, and the art team looked at there was a character called Takesis, who was like the evil goddess of like dragons and stuff. She had another name, Tiamat or whatever. They like merged that shit later on. But if you look at a picture of Takesis in old school Dragonlance, and then you look at Alex Straza, like the concept art and the paintings, it's like, yep, I know what they did. Yeah. But yeah, they desexified things. In fact, they actually did. They went through all of the paintings in the buildings. Like there used to be portraits and stuff and paintings, and they had like a sexy woman or whatever who's like a wizard or woman in a dress or whatever, and then they replaced it with like a bowl of fruit.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
a bowl of fruit.
Yeah, like all the art.
Like women.
Wow. That would explain why, that's gaming the publisher.
Yeah,
so I just wanted to mention this real quick, and goddamn, I mean, there's like, well, I'm not play my guy. You got cool stuff like this. So when you were talking in game, you got to see your character react and just do strange shit.
Yeah.
But, another thing that people used to do in game. And there was a lot of weirdos out there, and I'm sure both of you have seen this as well.
Oh my god!
The
weirdos in
that
gaming
would strip their characters damn near naked, dance on top of mailboxes, and make sexy innuendos so they could get in-game gold.
Oh my god!
And they got gold for it.
Yeah.
Wait,
I thought we're gonna talk about the role playing.
It's a proto gooning.
Hold on, they were simping for other fat guys.
Yes, a fat guy with a female night elf was dancing on top of a mailbox, being like, "Would you fuck me? I'd fuck you so hard."
What do you want from Fruity?
Right? Holy shit!
Yeah.
And the crazy stuff is some people would actually buy gold to give to these people in game. I'm shitting you
That's
not.
amazing.
Oh,
Oh man. Yeah.
But blood elves have a bad reputation of like, if you play a blood elf, then you're definitely a dude.
Yep.
Oh, you're an Asian dude from what it sounded like.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Over in the Asian servers, yeah, it was like 90 or 80% blood elves. But yeah.
Holy shit. That's great.
Well, it's odd because I was in a guild for a short time, and I was a male blood elf rogue because when Burning Crusade first came out. A blood elf rogue was probably one of the best builds against any spellcaster because they actually had a racial ability to suck mana out of people. So it was like you do that with your rogue mana bane poisons on your blades and stuff, and you were fighting a spellcaster, and they were just screwed. And I'm in this dungeon or whatever, and there was this group of people, and this is just to date how long ago it was. We didn't have Discord or anything. So we had this program called Roger Wilco. And I had it, and they invited me into the guild, and they're like, hey, this is our Roger Wilco channel, blah, blah, blah. We go in there. And all of the male blood elves that were like the one that invited me and all that stuff turned out to be, I was the only male in that entire guild. All their characters were male, and they were female, and I was the one, I'm like, I feel kind of odd. What's going on? Like, no, you're cool. You're cool.
So funny.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, ganging up on Chris. Like, how do you feel about strap-ons?
Sit down real slow.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Get out of there. Get out of there. I just
Something ain't right here. Hold up.
Got the bees.
Oh shit.
I didn't tell you they were a role-playing guild before.
Oh
This is not
god.
the kind of role-playing that I signed up for.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Dude,
yeah.
like,
Speaking
one of
of
my
whip,
friends used to she got sucked in one of these like role-playing guilds unknowingly, and she was like, the guy took me to a pub, and then he told me to sit down, and it's just she did the sit down animation, and the other dude was just like standing and sitting, so it looked like they were, and
teabagging?
he was kind of getting teabagged, but it was supposed to simulate the thing, and then.
Yeah.
It's so freaking weird because she was really young, and the dude knew, and it's like
Oh no.
in-game
Not okay.
so,
Have a seat.
weird.
Holy shit. Sorry. But as soon as you said that she was kind of young, like, no, we got to bust out the Loja.
Yeah, that's a zero tolerance for me, dog.
That was not okay.
God.
Oh,
Yeah,
RP servers, man.
So
Yeah.
besides just
Super
questing and
crazy.
everything like that, did you guys, any of you guys get into the the battlegrounds and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I learned that druids were pieces of shit because they owned the battlegrounds.
Oh, damn.
Capture the flag.
I had a lot of fun with this one right here. I'm going to show this real quick. This is one I think this was one of my favorite battlegrounds, and I just love the shit out of this one.
Years ago, all of this land belonged to the trolls. Today, it belongs to the Horde!
You know, the one thing that kind of pisses me off when I recorded all this stuff, I never thought about taking video of all the really cool mounts, like the headless horseman mount, the alabaster dragon mount, like all these weird mounts that I had. I just did some of the basic mounts instead. I don't know why.
Stronghold. Dumb. The stronghold be a fortress now. I'm out of rage. It's still reaching. It's too far away.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
The Rocky Highlands.
Yeah, I had all those elites and everybody's just running by to go after the main boss. Like, yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah. Well, you know, like that's kind of what the like open world PvP should have been. You know, those battlegrounds, those little instance battlegrounds.
Mhm.
That should have been like, you know, there were discussions back in the day where like you could actually, as the Horde, take over like Westfall, and suddenly the grass turns brown and like it looks all Horde-ish. You know, the architecture changes and stuff. And that would have been freaking cool, but clearly in 2003 or whatever, when they were developing it or earlier, that was kind of out of the question. But dude, you were in one of the most epic freaking battlegrounds.
That's awesome.
I was
Yeah.
in that thing all the time, man. I was freaking, taking names and kicking asses all over the place. My freaking character, yeah, I spent a lot of time with that thing. And you're talking about areas like right there, Captain Alice had meant that, South Shore looked nice.
Oh yeah.
And that was one of the areas. I don't care if you were Horde or Alliance. There was always a battle going on between South
Yep.
Shore and Tar and Mill. Always.
Yep. Yep. God, what bothered me is like the leveling experience on a PvP server was like, you should never start as a newbie and go into a PvP server. You should already know what you're doing, because the way that the zones are laid out, you have like your newbie zones where you're safe, and then you get to like your post, I think it was like post 12 or post 18 or something. It's one of those levels. You get into like the neutral zone, and then from the neutral zone, then you get into the hostile or
I think
other.
it was actually like early on. It was somewhere around like 12 or 13, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So for the Horde, and what's going on, Scotsman? He said,
Hey!
so cool,
Hey,
cool.
what's up, brother?
I've told
Hey.
this story before. I told it to Vinny. So there was a point, if you played Horde, you know, one of the worst areas that you're going to wind up seeing all your quest givers getting killed all the time is at the crossroads. I
Yep.
don't know why the Alliance killed everybody. The Alliance killed everybody. I
But
can't
into the
turn in
dude
my
was
quest
gone.
now. All the time, they were killing everybody in the crossroads. And those dirty, rotten, no good son of a bitch and hunters, they would come with their snake traps. So even if you didn't flag yourself in the crossroads, the
Yep.
snake traps would automatically flag you because they would just
Yep.
go off and hit anything. But I had just got done with everything in the crossroads area and everything, and I was heading into Ashenville.
Yep.
So as I'm going into Ashenville, this douchebag named Jeff Foxworthy, who was a freaking he was a night
A
elf
redneck?
hunter,
You call me.
killed my low level character, and he was max level. This Burning Crusade, he was max level. Killed my guy over and over. I couldn't get away. Every time I tried to get away, he chased me, ha 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 ha, laughing and shit. Like, okay, you son of a bitch. Years later, I waited years. It was a couple of years later. I was finally max level, and
This
I
is
ran
excellent.
into Jex Foxworthy on that one, where the Sunwell Plateau areas where the daily quests were.
Oh yeah.
I ran into him there doing daily quest, and I killed his ass over and over. And I kept laughing at him,
Remember
kept
me.
pointing at him, laughing at him. Yeah, until he finally logged out.
That's cool.
That's what we call holding the grudge.
See,
You
yeah,
ever-
I get that's worse than a Sicilian old lady. Like that's why I said, Tommy, you're an honorary guinea.
Oh shit. Well, so one of the cruel things that I saw as a hunter was, so when you go into, if you're in friendly territory, if you attack an enemy faction that comes into your friendly territory, it instantly flags them from neutral, like a neutral threat, like a yellow name or whatever, to a red name, and now they can attack you and all that stuff. So what I saw Horde hunters do was they have this ability called Eyes of the Wolf, or Eyes of the Beast, I think, where they can send their pet and they can control their pet and have it walk a considerable distance from them and wander around for a short period of time. And what they did is, in the starting zone of Goldshire for the Alliance, one of the first quests is kill 10 wolves, because the wolves are raiding the farms or whatever. So you go and get the quest, and you see a bunch of wolves just walking around. They're doing their little random NPC, pathing or whatever. And one of those wolves just happened to have been the Eyes of the Beast pet of the level 65 hunter. So this level 1 warrior goes over and beats a wolf to death with a stick. And then all of a sudden he hits this one wolf, and the wolf doesn't die in 2 hits. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a hunter snipes you from from behind some trees with his arcane shot and one-shot you. And then you try to get back up, and there's like a whole bunch of skeletons everywhere because all of the newbies.
Wow.
Over and over again. So here's another one I want to ask both of you guys, and I did this a few times, and this was mostly just out of irritation with the Alliance, because I don't know why, it just seemed like a lot of the Alliance players on most of these servers just tended to be douchebags. Mm-hmm. They'd come into Orgrimmar, or actually, I think the time they did it to us was at Thunderbluff, and they came in and they kept killing the auction house guys, like sons of bitches,
Mm-hmm.
sons of bitches. So we got to group together. And that's what I'm asking. Have you ever done this? We got a group together and we went and we held Stormwind's auction house and bank hostage for 3 hours.
Dude. No.
Man.
Holy shit.
I never did that, but I think there was an achievement if you were able to kill some of the people in Stormwind as Horde and vice versa or something.
Yeah, there
But
used
I
to be
was-
an achievement for that back in the day.
Oh,
Yeah, it was really cool, but I always got killed in the crossfire. I was just trying to quest and level up and do dungeons, and then was just chilling in org, and then I get killed. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so annoying. Go away.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I don't know. There were so many things though that like we lost because of all of their optimizations. Like you know, when you, and I know this sounds really pompous, so I apologize, but like I was a game designer for 10 years, and it was hammered into me that when you design a game, you have to define like your 3 to 5 pillars from the onset. And every design that you make has to adhere to one of those 3 to 5 pillars. So your pillar would be like, I want to have a massively multiplayer game. So every design that I make should incentivize or facilitate the massively multiplayer aspect of it. And unfortunately, a lot of these designers, man, like the nepotism, the cronyism, I don't know what the hell it is, but like they get these assholes in there and they never ask the question, does this design bolster or like what pillar does this design facilitate? And when you see shit like the auction house being optimized for convenience to be a menu in the game instead of a place to go to, or like the questing, you remember when you could literally be anywhere in the world and it's like, hey, I want to go do this dungeon or I want to go do that dungeon. Does that incentivize player like massively multiplayer like coordination or anything? It's like, no, you're literally just looking at your phone essentially. You know, you're looking at your menu. You're not interacting with the world anymore. You know, you're not at the world stone at the opening of the dungeon being like, hey, I'm looking for a party, LFG, you know?
Yeah.
So I think we lost a lot of that. And that kind of killed a lot of the charm for me, where people stopped talking to each other because everything was all automated.
Yep. I mean, that was one of the cool things going into the towns and everything like that too.
Yeah.
And I mean, not only that, but then you had like your guild speak and everything like that. And usually a lot of people would be interacting your guild speak if you were part of the guild and everything. So there was a lot of cool things going on back there. I mean, like even before YouTube really became a big thing, you had that kind of stuff in World of Warcraft. And I mean, it did spill over to other games like Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, yeah. Well, part of getting players into locations in the cities and stuff was also the window shopping, or like the what do they call it, like the curb appeal, where I'm a lowbie, you know, I'm only like level 5 or 6 or whatever, and I just finally made it to the city, and I'm seeing these like level 65 guys all decked out and pimped out in their cool armor and their cool guild tabards and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, that's cool. That's something like an aspirational thing that I want to aspire to.
That's what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah. And they took all that away.
You can aspire to be Beef Chuck. Go ahead.
Oi! Oh, no, wait, that's the orcs. But yeah, it just, when they took that stuff away, they took away that cool, like, oh, wow, like, where did you get that mount? You know, like you see somebody like, you know, walking over to the mailbox or whatever, and they got this like freaking unicorn or like a Kirin or whatever. And you're like, where the hell did you get that? And like, oh, I got it on a special whatever. Now it's like, oh, I bought it off of the freaking auction or bought it off of the in-game store. And you don't even see those people anymore because there's no need to congregate.
Yep.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, there is a coldness that they put into everything now.
Yeah.
That sucks ass.
Level 65 envy.
Well, another thing that was really cool, and you were talking about the game earlier, there was a few selective things that were only available through the card game. So we had the original turtle mount where it was like super freaking slow, but it could swim. So we had the turtle mount, and then if you remember, there were special tabards. So you had like the frost tabard, you had the fire tabard that were only available through the card game.
Dude, I had the Spectral Tiger card, but there was no code. There was no code, so it was like, fooled you! Like, I got the card, I'm like, oh, this is exciting! And there was no, like, code for it.
Sucks. We had it, and we also had, I don't know if you remember this, there was a special one that came in the card where it was a Spectral Tiger sandbox piece. So basically, it was like, remember those little things you'd sit on with the spring and you kind of rock back and forth? That's what it was. It was the Spectral Tiger, like, spring thing that you would just sit on, rock back and forth.
Dude, so my favorite like cosmetic item I had was the Murloc costume that you got from Blizzard 2008, and it was you put on this costume, and it's a really shoddy looking Murloc. Like he's got like socks, like orange like stockings for his like little flanges or fin things on his back, and you could if you did the I think it was like roar remote or whatever, you'd hear the and he was holding a BlizzCon or a Blizzard flag, and he would not aggro Murloc, so you could literally walk through Crystal Lake and they wouldn't attack you.
Oh, that's cool.
And got it. I wish I could like detach that from my account and sell it on eBay.
Oh my gosh, dude. Probably go for a shit ton.
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot of those things. So I don't remember what I got. So in the card game, it was like Landro Longshot, or was that the name? The goblin Landro something. I don't remember if it was Longshot or what it was, but that was the goblin that was on the card from the World of Warcraft game, a card game that he would be the one that would always have those scratch off freaking codes. Oh, I remember whatever it was. I had a couple of those Landro cards of the exact same thing. So what I did is I actually went in game and I sold it to somebody. I don't remember who I sold it though, but I had an extra one, sold it because all I had to do was sell the code.
That's sweet.
No, because once the code is used, it's done. So I got to keep the card. I just sold them the freaking code, and I got paid for it.
Nice.
Yeah, the card game was absolutely dreadful. But the art on those, like I even bought the art of the trading card game, like the book. It's gorgeous, man. Like I know they recycled it.
I didn't mind that game, Chris. It really wasn't that much different than say Magic or anything. The only thing that sucked is there wasn't anything predominantly that was land. But technically, as long as you flip the card upside down, you could play any card you wanted as a land.
Yeah, but there was like I watched my players because I sat back initially when I was getting into it. I bought a bunch of the expansions. The rules were so poorly worded that a lot of it was up to interpretation. Like there were things like dispel all pets or whatever, and it's like, dude, you got to get rid of those totems because it says pet on them, and it's like, no, pets are like hunter pets and warlock pets and blah blah blah. No, totems are considered pets. No, they're not. And then there'd be just evolve into this big argument. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Just guys move along.
Like, oh man.
Yeah. I was terrible at the game too, by the way. I was getting my ass kicked. But that's not why I disliked it. Like a good game is when you get your ass kicked and you're like, yeah, I'm still having fun. Or like, yeah, I know why I got my ass kicked. Like that's totally
right.
But
well, I bought the big box set, and I was hoping to play it with the guys, and nobody at that point wanted to play it anymore. So I had bought the big Onyxia set.
Oh shit! See, yeah, that was cool when you could cooperatively play against somebody as like Onyxia.
Yeah, it was basically like doing the raid in the game, except it was the card game.
That was cool. Yeah, like 4 players up against 1 player.
I still have all those damn things too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I should have taken some pictures beforehand, but dude,
well, so I figure I'm going to save a lot of this, and maybe sometime down the road, I'll do a going old school and just make it a big World of Warcraft talk day.
Oh hell yeah!
That whatever else I couldn't use tonight, like maybe I could chop up those cinematic intros, or maybe I'll just play them on my channel since they're never going to allow me to be monetized anyway. Fuck it. What's the worst they're going to do? Take that live stream down, like, oh, be still my beating heart. It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, but they
talking about Hearthstone, but there was an actual TCG of WoW.
Yeah. They ended up leveraging all of the art from the TCG into Hearthstone, and in my opinion, Hearthstone was a vastly superior product.
It was really fun.
Yeah, I loved that. In fact, I actually was. I had a coworker who made, like, I wish I kept it, but I had to move. They made me a Hearthstone box, like the wooden box that the game appears, that aesthetic. They were able to wood carve all of that, and God, it was gorgeous.
Thanks.
But I couldn't fit it in my story.
You guys hold the conversation going for me. Since Steph has never seen it, I'm going to go in the back and find one of them, take a screenshot, and then I'll upload it. I'll be right back.
Sweet. All right. Yeah. Well, let's see. So Sorry, I know.
My characters that I had before I quit last year. But like my names, the names of the characters. Hold on, how do I do this again?
Just the share.
Oh, if you're
Or
sharing
the plus. It's the little monitor icon in the bottom.
There's just 15 like NVIDIA. No, not my retro bar. Foreground window. What the fuck?
I have no idea what's happening. I'm scared.
Oh, okay, I see it now. I got it.
You got it?
I think so. Can
Oh.
y'all see it?
Yeah, 1 sec. There we go. Oh, before you continue, hold on 1 sec. We do have a new person on here. Oh, out there, Scotsman. How you doing, brother?
Greetings.
Awesome. Yeah, Steph's going to show us something real quick here, and then we'll jump to you because I know you're very excited about this stuff too. That's why I wanted you on here because you remember when you were playing and I used to troll you from the chat.
Oh yeah. It
was hilarious. What was it? I was saying it in Asian or whatever. Somebody told me the phrase "fucking nerd" or whatever it was in with Japanese. Otaku. That was it.
Oh yeah.
I just come by and say "fucking otaku," and he just laughed nonstop. I loved it.
Yes, I'll have a taco.
Right, but sorry, Steph. Yeah, go ahead. Is your character you said?
Oh yeah, like Tommy was saying earlier. He said that like he made like funny names for his characters and stuff, but I just picked the ugliest French names, and that's how my characters were born. Except just because like she was supposed to be a fire mage, obviously for the Witcher, but fire mage was ass, so I went frost mage.
You don't have a hunter named Mierd Slinger?
That would have been
I'm surprised.
But also deleted my shaman because I was so pissed about the freaking totemic and
I
don't have my shaman anymore.
What was your shaman's name?
It was Gush. I was like, hey, Gush, water.
Oh, did you make a druid called was it Je suis la grande fromage?
Jesus. Those are all great names. Where were you guys when I was playing?
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, Tommy stepped out for a second, but oh wait, did we just lose him again? No. Oh, there he is.
Oh yeah.
Let me blow you up a little bit there.
So
nice.
I was noticing your character select screen. Here are my characters over on the side here. There's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24.
Holy shit.
20, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. And that's on account 1.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
Account 2 has almost as many.
This is like a second job for you.
I'm a delete and start over.
Yeah.
Right?
Brewmaster Monk.
Nice.
There's something interesting about a kung fu bison.
Yeah. Well, see, his name is Zentar.
That's great.
And these shoulders, I love these shoulders. They're called the shoulders of the Grand Upwelling. They have these strange physics on them to where the ribbons always go back up.
That's awesome.
That's
Holy
cool.
shit. What's the one next to it? I can't see the name from here.
Zen Kuma. Kuma is bear in Japanese. He's a druid.
Nice.
He's clearly a farmer.
Yeah, he's got the giant shoulder.
So, and then this is my hunter. She's named after the Makara, Zenkora. All of my characters pretty much start with Zen, so that all my guildies know that they're mine.
Yeah.
Do they call you Zen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's the Zen master.
Yeah.
Warrior.
He's chill, man.
Paladin. She's got a little dragon paladin theme.
Oh, that's neat.
Oh, demon hunter.
Death Knight. So.
Well, the Death Knight almost looks like a martial. Is it just because of the racial? Because the Pandaren.
She's Pandaren, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my priest, her name is Zenical Prawn. I have another friend who named his priest Cthulhu.
Cthulhu?
Little baby octopus.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's priceless.
So, this was my first character. He obviously wasn't a Zandalari troll because when I started, there were no Zandalari trolls in the game. That's playable. So, combat rogue. Now I guess
That was pretty cool.
Outlaw.
Yeah.
So, I have a lot of monks. I like monks. Lot of monks. Reason being is they're the ultimate farming tune unless you're a druid, because they're extremely fast and they're durable, and I know how to play one really well, so I can solo content that I shouldn't be able to solo because of how durable they are. They're kind of game breaking in a way. So, Paladin dressed like a whore. She got dragon fire coming out of the shield,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Shield.
I love that shield, so cute.
And then this one, she lost an eye like Lothar Mar, sadly.
Oh.
So,
dude, that's a cool design.
That's a famous armor set. That's one of the holy crap.
Well, see, it's a remake of the original Paladin set, up-resed with new physics. So as you can see, the tassels they move.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
What's your highest level?
Well, the current level cap is 90.
Mm-hmm.
So I have several 90s. They're all kind of scattered.
Hey, what's going on, Scotsman?
Nice.
Hey, what's up?
Did they nerf the levels again? Because the last time I remember playing, I want to say my character was somewhere around 80 or 90. Didn't they lower?
Squished them
Yeah, they squished them again. Yeah.
So 90 is the current cap again.
Yeah, because it was 80, I think, when I stopped. So
yeah.
Okay.
Is this midnight? Midnight upped it by 10 or?
It is. It is midnight. So back in Pandaria was 90, and then it went to 100, 110, 120, and then they squished it back down. So now we're back up to 90 again.
Oh, power scope. Yeah, they're running out of this happens in Dungeons and Dragons all the time, where they're like, just retire your character. It's like, no, I still want to play.
Retire your character.
No, I'm a god.
Break your dick for retiring.
Yeah.
Say, if you haven't played retail lately and played the new dragon riding system, it's pretty good.
Nice.
I've heard it's a copy. Blizzard loves to copy things. It is a homage to the Guild Wars mount or riding system.
I see. Yeah,
so I wanted to ask Scotsman something since he's here. Scotsman, do you that Zalatath? Which
Mommy Purple Toes, yeah.
Yeah. I had actually stopped playing before they actually got that. So the last thing I did was the stuff with Battle for Azeroth, where they were doing Argos and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of missed out on a lot of that. So when I seen the name, I was like, God, that sounds familiar, and I couldn't figure out why. Do you remember that we were doing quests for her during Battle for Azeroth?
We were doing quests for her in Legion when she was trapped in the priest artifact weapon.
Okay, that's what it was. It was Legion. Okay, it was Legion. Yeah, because I ran across it when I was actually putting some stuff together for the show, and I seen it as a Zalatath. I was like, oh shit! I really didn't remember that because it was the Tortuga guys that were actually Tortolan that were given a couple quests, and it started with a chest, and you hear her talking, and her original I guess figure that they gave her was much different than what they wound up going with at the end. Because I think you're kind of giving her a physical form again during the quest.
Well, she took on the form of a blood elf, essentially.
As one would.
Yeah, I mean, I think she can make herself look however she wants. But you know,
It's Gozer.
yeah, like kind of Gozer, yeah. So, but yeah, this is the dragon riding system.
That
As you
looks
can see,
awesome.
It's pretty fun.
Does it ever tire?
No.
Over water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you hit a fatigue zone. But there are like you have charges of your speed boosts, and you know I can speed boost a certain number of times before I gotta let it recharge.
Right.
You know, and
So-
then you have a whirling surge, which lets you, you know, spin. I think it's on a cooldown actually. Yeah, whirling
But
surge.
you could basically go anywhere with this thing.
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing that they usually, I mean, I don't know if they still do it, but back in the day when you would get into a new zone, like after they introduced flying, because flying wasn't in the original game, when they first introduced it and you go into a new expansion, for most of that new expansion, you would not be allowed to fly in most of those zones, and you would still have to use ground mounts again until you got to a certain point in the game.
Right.
Yeah, and then you would be able to get flying. Are they still doing that, Scotsman?
No, they kind of wised up because people bitched at them. You know, they're like, look, the game has had flying since fucking Wrath. Let's stop this shit. Well, since before Wrath, but like, you know, what they did was they for a while they were putting in these Pathfinder achievements, which was collect 100 treasures, do all the main story campaign quests in each one of the new zones, and then reach max level. And then you could fly. So, but they stopped doing that. Now it's just like you can dragon ride. You can create a brand new character at level 1 and dragon ride. You can't mount any other regular mounts, but you can dragon ride. So,
I tell you one thing that kind of irritated me. So, I mean, my account kind of went active since 2019. I got really irritated between the Blitzchunk stuff and then all the garbage that they gave people for Warcraft Reforged, where they were saying, "Hey, this don't work," and the basically Blizzard was like, "Yeah, well, too bad." That kind of stuff really irritated me and drove me away from the game for the longest time. So I recently went on when I knew we were doing this, and I just wanted to look in the armory and see my characters again. Man, you're not allowed to look at any of your characters if you let your account go dormant for too long. Apparently now,
yeah,
which I didn't know they did that.
Wow.
Yeah, server retention.
Yeah, they'll rename your characters to random gibberish if you don't log in long enough, so that because someone else might want the name.
Oh, that's actually
somebody took one of my characters. So my character is missing off the one server, and his name was Shadowstalk. He was an orc warlock. There's another person. It's listed, and I only found it because I looked in my old guild that I had created years ago. And all my characters pretty much were still listed in that guild, except my Shadowstalk guy was no longer an orc warlock. He was now what did you say that was? The purple...
The void elf?
A void elf rogue.
Okay.
But it was the same name, just different race and everything. And it's got the alliance symbol right next to it. Like, okay, how could it be in a horde guild? Listed in the Horde Guild if it's an alliance character, like
well, guilds are cross faction now.
Are they now? Really?
Everything is cross faction now. Yeah.
Oh man, kind of defeats the whole world.
Is that because of Elliot Page?
Hey, you lay off Shikilis, okay? She's going to do great. I mean, he is going to do great.
Oh,
Real quick, I'm just going to overlay this for a second. Don't worry, I'm not shutting you off. But I wanted to show Steph with the card game. She had never seen the World of Warcraft card game. So I could only find one of my PAX cards. I couldn't find the big boxes or anything. But that's what the card game looked like.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
It looks so like 90s, early 2000s.
That's
it looks a lot like Magic.
Now, when you get the big boxes and everything, it was a hard, plastic case box. That like Grennan Stormspeaker, the shaman, he would have a big blown up card as well. It was a big oversized card that was probably like 3 times the size of a normal card.
Oh shit!
It was almost comic book size. It was so big.
Wow.
Those
That's
are pretty
wild.
But yeah, that's what the cards look like. we ever do a Warcraft thing again on my channel, I'll definitely have to dig out all the cards, the Nixia set that I have, and do like little mini videos on them because I don't know if I've ever done it for my channel or not.
Yeah, you might as well, man. Dude, again, all this stuff is super cool. That's what I say. Even if I've never played it, I still appreciate everything that's in there. And like I said, I know a little bit.
Vinny,
yeah, no,
I'm
it's
telling you, Scotsman will back me up, Steph will back me up, and so will Chris. If I was able to play all those cinematic intros for each expansion, or even just the first 4, you'd probably be wild because some of those damn cinematic intros really do sell the games.
Well, fuck it, we could do it. Yeah, you want to go over to? We'll go over to Rumble. Hold on, let me just. I gotta grab the link.
So check this out. This character conjures a keg and smashes it onto his target, and then breathes fire on them and lights them on fire.
Brewmaster.
Nice.
Yeah, such a fun tank to play, dude. Just spinning around the entire time.
I tell you what, I used to have fun with my warrior tank, but I really found, and it felt cheap. The damn druid tank was almost unstoppable.
Wow. Oh yeah, before we go over, I'll show one more time for the people on YouTube. Yeah, here's the piece I was working on that I started while we were.
Dark Lady, watch over us.
Please.
It sounds like we got approval from everyone on panel. That's good.
Yeah, it looks freaking sick. I love the white highlights in the hair.
Thanks.
It looks amazing, dude.
Yeah, I figure with all the white hair that she had, it would be pretty cool to kind of just mess around like that. Because not last week, 2 weeks ago, I had done. Hold on, let me disappear that. I was working on a Skeletor piece during one of the streams, so yeah, that's what I came up with. Right?
Did someone say Elliot Page? Joke's on you. I'm into that.
There you go. So.
And they got Jared Leto to play him in the movie. Ugh.
Yeah, what a weird choice.
I know.
Well, hey, they succeeded in erasing another Ginger in Man at Arms, and guess who's playing him again? Idris Elba.
Yep.
Bruh.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, always erase Gingers.
I hear Tommy's a big fan of that. Oh shit! But all right, folks. Here is the link. Everyone on panel, you can stay here. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to be closing out the YouTube portion. So if anyone is still watching on YouTube, click this link because we are on Rumble. I'm multi-streaming anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, come on over to Rumble where it's a little bit safer. The waters are safer over there, right there, and you're not going to get fatigue crossing over to Rumble. You're going to be fine.
Exactly. So.
Yeah, you get to wash the gay off you.